Hi there, this is Fiona Watson, mindfulness coach, and I met with you last week and I introduced you to an outdoor meditation where we observed stillness together and the experiences of sound, skin sensation, breath, and we also added a little bit of appreciation in there. This week I'm offering you the chance to use your daily walk to tune in and to be more present, to experience the benefits of really being outdoors to the full. Now, daily walking is one of the things that I've really taken to heart over the past few weeks as a nourishing activity. I tend to walk with my husband, and sometimes it's offered as a really good chance to chat about plans and work ideas, which I've really valued. But I know that when I'm doing that, I really have that sense of missing something. So we always do try to pause to engage fully our senses and just connect with something along the way. It might be a small patch of woodland, just looking up at the sky, just touching a dry stone wall, just listening, standing and just hearing. And then there's other walks that we've done where we've just been completely fully immersed in the experience of walking. I think that the difficulty is that very often the walk could always become the time where we're planning, where we're talking, or we're overthinking a problem. And we really need to make a conscious effort to make sure that this is only just part of the walk, or you really will feel that you know that you've been outside, but you weren't really there. It's all just gone by you. And the value of being open and available to your senses is so much recognised by neuroscience. And of course, many GPs really taking this on board, as crazy as it seems, prescribing outdoor walking to their patients because we know that by engaging the senses, really opening to sensory perception, stress hormones are actually lowered. You may remember me mentioning this last week. So it's really important this week that when you use the exercises that I'm sharing, just see if you can really be in your walk as completely as you can be. Really make that conscious effort to be present for yourself. And the little saying goes that if you walk half as fast, you'll notice twice as much. So just notice how when you set off on your walk, you're just at a pace. You're walking as though you're always trying to get somewhere or to achieve something, because that's generally how we are in our day-to-day lives. It's always about getting it done. And this is just a chance to notice this, just to pause and notice how you set off and how this is the case for us, and gives us really the chance just to notice and change tack. That really is what mindfulness is all about. And on that, I'd just like to share with you that whilst mindfulness fully supports direction, goals and purpose, we need to know where we're going. But mindfulness is really reminding us that we're always very much too fixated on outcomes. And life is much more about how we actually get there. So it's really reminding us that on times like this, when we're walking today, perhaps, remembering that we're not trying to get somewhere, but rather we're trying to be here. We're really trying to feel it and truly experience it. So when you start walking, you might just pay attention to this if you can remember. And if you're walking with somebody, you might share this with them today, or you might even decide to walk alone so that you can really focus yourself differently for this one. You might also just set yourself a little target of seeing if you can actually be completely present from where you are. Perhaps say to that tree that you can just see over there, or that house. And you'll really realise how challenging it is just to stay present. And of course you can use all of your senses to just keep reawakening yourself to returning to really being here. And the idea is that you just simply notice and you just become aware that you've wandered and just re-invite yourself back in. So challenging yourself and not berating yourself for having wandered away and gotten sucked back into the trance of thinking. Never get cross or feel let down by your mind, because your mind is only doing what it always does. And mindfulness is an opportunity to just notice that you really are rarely here. You know, it's around about 47% of our waking time. We're not here. So it's always a work in practice. Only ever be curious with yourself. I always suggest find it amusing when you notice that you've wandered. Never be cross. So I'm hoping that you might find the following 2 meditations helpful in accompanying this introduction this week. The first is a standing meditation exercise, or you might call a pre-walk focus, just to do before you set off, just to really set the tone. And then the second one is something that you can play, just plug in your earphones as a guide whilst you're actually walking, if you want to do that. So just before I leave you now, let's just quickly recap 3 things that we've talked about in this introduction. So number 1 is walk. Really engage in your sensory experience to lower stress hormones, increase your endorphins, which is your body's natural painkillers that are released in your body through movement. And secondly, walk a little slower. Notice twice as much today. And remember, it's not just about getting somewhere. It's about arriving in every moment. Arriving in every moment. And thirdly, just set yourself a little playful target of challenging yourself to be fully present from, as an example, say this tree here to the end of that road that you can see over there. Just seeing how that goes. So, looking forward to being with you again, and enjoy your walking.